help of Director Danny and A-Class at large, helping us to bring you this show right here on HRTV. This show is highly sponsored by Tap Send. But before we proceed, I would like to also welcome you to the show, and please take the time to invite your loved ones, friends, and families to be part of the show. There are so many updates going on in the immigration world, and it's only prudent that we talk about it and address some issues and concerns that people are actually having in terms of the legal and also immigration issues. So no sound. Can you guys hear me? If sound is working well, thank you very much, Cynthia. So if you have an issue with the sound, please log out. Get out and come back in and check your sound as well. Maybe it's a little bit low. So as I was saying, today's show is going to be very, very unique, and we are going to make sure that we get you guys the right information. But please take advantage of the free consultation that Lawyer Only has, so that you can actually address your issue that are pertaining to you and your family stuff. And again, let's try to refrain from putting our names out there. So if your question comes in and I mention your name, the one that I have on Zoom, once you come on board, just go ahead and proceed. Let's say if you have your name as, Jimmy Cash, and nobody knows Jimmy Cash in his real name. So when you come in, don't mention that name itself. But then if you have your name as, say, my brother Amos or Aaron Archer, and I mention your name, then that is a different thing altogether. I'll probably, take it from there. So please, let's be mindful. Whilst we've welcomed you and into the show, and kindly, plead with you to invite loved ones to join, I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our viewers and also our sponsors. So, Feel Good Services, in case you're looking for a mental health educator or somebody who can help you in terms of a mental health speech, please look no further by Feel Good Services. And you can reach them at feelgoodservices@gmail.com. And Dr. Phil will help you through all the process that you need. Also, if you're in Ghana right now, or you are heading to Ghana very soon for the summer break with the family and loved ones, please, the best place to go live with your family, a cozy place that you can actually enjoy free Wi-Fi, security, and also a luxury, basically home away from home, is Feel Good Homes and Feel Good Apartments. They have locations at the Pokwase, East Legon, Nigerian Ghana, East Legon Hills. They have anywhere from studio to 2 bedrooms. Also, they have houses that they are actually looking to sell, in case you want to buy a semi-detached house or a standalone house, a 4-bedroom house. Please contact them at +1513 3725758, or you can still email them at feelgoodservices@gmail.com and tell them PK sent you, so that you can get all the discounts that are rightful to you. As soon as possible. Tap Send, main sponsor for today's program and subsequent ones. It's easy, it's fast, secure, and very convenient. Please go to the Google Play Store or the App Store, download the app, and put in the promo code PK, P-KAY, and make sure you get $25 on your first transaction. Once you get that money and you send money back home, please send me a screenshot, and I will send you a bag of rice to top up whatever bonus that you got. So please take advantage of that. If you already did, to make sure you send that information to your loved ones and family, so that they can also partake in this beautiful promo. With that being said, I want to say thanks to Tap Send for actually being backbone to Time with Tap Send. And again, we are bringing nothing but the best. Next week, we are actually going to be dealing with a relationship conversation, and it's how to deal with a difficult partner. And our sister Oba will be hosting the show next week with Professor Joe Ando. So next week is going to be a very good one. So please stay tuned, and also make sure you invite your loved ones to come and join, so that we all can learn how to deal with each other in these subsequent days ahead of us. With that being said, I would like to turn over to Tatapsen and see what's going on in their corners, so that they can actually help us, give us some updates, call upon director. But again, last week we did talk about Mifie raffle with the World Cup tickets. If you haven't already entered the draw, please do that. And Sister Ivy made us understand that you can have multiple entries. So if you haven't already done so, please make sure you take advantage of it. People like us, we don't usually win raffles. Actually, I've never won one before in my life, but then I'm hoping to see something positive happen this time around. So please make sure they take advantage of it. So Tatapsen will give us a quick update, and after that, we'll talk to our sister, Lawyer Oni. Director, welcome to the show time with Tatapsen.
Thank you, Dr. PK. Sorry. I know you don't want to support us, but I'm still in the Black Star.
Black and Stamper. But actually, today when I went for soccer practice, I was wearing a Black Star jersey though, and you saw how abysmal you guys performed a couple days ago.
That is a team B.
Actually, a friend told me that was Team C. I'm supposed to Team Z. So far as it has a label Black Stars.
Black Star.
Yeah.
Hey. To be defending Bronson, but anyway, we still do. Anyway, I still wear my logo green, so I mean we are still in the World Cup mood.
Yes, sir.
I believe miracle can happen everywhere. So
yeah, we all do.
yeah. So even though the kid don't want to support, I know deep within his heart he's actually supporting. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, Ivy just reached out. I think she's having some difficulties, so she can't pop up. So I will take it from her, and deliver the message as she wanted it. Kakra me pese ye kano short. Enche. Ghana wallet no ebesa babie. This time America is going to have their fair share. So everybody can activate their wallets, including the Ghana wallet. Rest assured. And discovery card in India, I think we've done it already. So BBL will use to discover card and use it with the app. So we saw all these updates for our people. We are also adding reference to the donation, where if you send to any of the donations you find on the app, you can put your name in there, and then we can see someone I will send it and a lot more. Me my updating in Notion. There's one thing we are doing, the red, gold, green stuff. Look at my background now. I'm saying flyer bill. I'll put it in the chat so we all have a fair look at it. Mifie.com. You can actually enter into the draw and win a ticket to one of Ghana matches in our question. Yeah, the Panama, Croatia, and UK, right? It's here. Monko PK there on you, but it is an any lucky chance. Won't it? Mon try. May the link in so better so. Not to say, my enter. Mind you, we tap. You know, a little bit collaboration. Kakra won't. Will be our customer be our tap biano. You have a 10% bonus. Why into PK? Not just a kakra. Doctor.
All right, thank you very much once again to us, the Gunners, Arsenal. Yes, English champions. Please, when you see us in town, give us our kudos. We need it. We have suffered for 22 years, and we will make sure that we maintain what we have started. With that much, I would like to say, please take advantage of the Mifie raffle and win 2 tickets for yourself and your +1. Lawyer Oni, I'm pretty sure our sister is here, so that we can proceed. Producer Lawyer Niaba on my okay, so we're still waiting on Lawyer Oni to come so that we can start today's show. But whilst we're waiting on her, again, like I said, if you haven't taken advantage of the Mefie raffle ticket, please do that as soon as possible. Okay, our sister is here. So, Leon is here. She's gonna walk us through a quick updates. I was getting so many messages from people concerning, hey, we are hearing that whenever you go for interviews, you're supposed to, give out your social media handles. Yes, we are hearing all that. We'll find out that confirmation from Lawyer Oni. And also, people said with immigration, with the immigrant visa, now you have to go back home so that you can be able to process your green card. And how true is that? Lawyer Oni will walk us through all that process. So, without much ado, let me go ahead and introduce guest for today. Today, she's not coming as relocation to Africa, but she's coming to you as Esquire Oni from Oni Law. Lawyer, welcome to the show, Time with Thompson.
Thank you so much, Doc. Good evening, everyone.
Good
Good
evening.
morning. I'm not sure where people are watching from. And also, I just say hello for those in the replay. It's a pleasure to be here today. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. So we're just gonna go straight to the point. We know you are doing very well because I just talked to you before the show, so I will even waste time on that. But then, what are these two, rumors that we are hearing? I won't call it a little bird whispering, but this is a huge parrot whispering that there is some changes in terms of immigration and legal information in terms of green card and also social media statuses or social media handles that is needed by the embassies, especially the ones in Ghana. So, what do you have to say about this update and the updates that you have?
Okay, thank you so much. So first of all, I'm excited to be here. Before I start, I just want to make a nice disclaimer. And that disclaimer is that this is for informational purposes only. I am not your attorney. I am an attorney, but I do advise that you reach out to an immigration attorney regarding your specific issue. So we are going to discuss today some of the policies that were announced over the weekend, memorandums rather, and also just some of the speculations that the host has already brought to light. And the intent for today's session is that by the end of this discussion, you have clarity, the panic, the fright, the nervousness that's circulating. Hopefully you have a bit more clarity to move forward. So I am going to walk us through just with some basic information so that your heart is at rest as you continue the rest of the month and the year regarding your immigration journey. So,
Right.
okay, go ahead, Doc.
No, I was echoing to what you said. I said, all right.
Okay, fantastic. So, as Doc has said, yes, over the weekend, I think specifically on Friday, the 22nd, there was a policy memo that was dropped by USCIS regarding adjustment status. This has created a lot of frenzy as it regards to what does this mean for people who want to get their green card. Is my green card at risk? And so I want to just kind of walk through a few things for us today. And of course, at the end, we will take just one or two questions. But I highly suggest that if you do have questions, you can feel free to reach out to my firm. We do have free 15-minute screening for your situation. And then we can take it up in terms of an actual consultation that's paid. So let's just start off with immigration in general as it relates to the United States of America. This is going to be a little bit of an informational session, and not to bore anyone, but I think that it will help you to understand where the policy memo lies and what that actually means for you. In the United States, we do have a hierarchy of immigration law. we have the Constitution. And in this area, we know that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. The Constitution, as it deals with immigration, it deals with immigration as person. And there are certain issues that it doesn't matter your citizenship status, was afforded certain rights. And that's the right to due process. That's the right of free from unwanted search and seizures. That's also the right of the First Amendment. And these are just a few things that the Constitution provides. After the Constitution, you have something that's called the INA, that's Congress. This is now the statutes. And this is really where the home of immigration law lies in the United States. Because Congress does have authority to create statutes. And this is where, in this policy memo, it's referring to the INA. And it's important to know this because when it comes to hierarchy, the Immigration Nationality Act does supersede, of course, under the Constitution. And in this specific case, we're talking about INA 245 as it relates to adjustment of status for green card. After the INA, we now have something that's called regulations and codes. Am I boring you, Doc?
Oh no, no. I was just hitting on my allergies with my nose. No.
All right. I hope you guys are still awake. Please drop some hearts if you're following me. And so we now, awesome. Thank you, Cynthia A. So now we now have what is called regulation. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. And with the regulation, this is where the agencies, the federal agencies, such as USCIS, think of Department of Homeland Security, think of Department of Justice. This is where they create the how-to. So Congress has, passed this law, it's become a statute. Now, how do we actually implement those? This is where and the codes come in. And there's also a code that's referenced in this memo as well. Then you now have binding law. So this is a case law. This is now, we're at hierarchy level 4. So in this situation, you have the Supreme Court of the land. You have circuit court. You have district court. I'm already anticipating that there will be a lot of circuit court lawsuits brought. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Please give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
What meeting?
Okay. Circuit court lawsuits as it relates to this situation. Then after the binding law, which is the 4th tier, we talked about the Supreme Court, circuit courts, district courts. We now have an area here that is now called, for this specific situation, the USCIS Policy Manual. So the USCIS Policy Manual, think of it as a handbook. This is for the officers as it relates to a vast area of immigration issues, not just adjustment of status as it relates to green card, but so many other things. And this is really where the officers can refer back to and give them guidance on how to adjudicate certain issues. Now we have USCIS Policy Memo. So this is where the memo falls. We've done the Constitution, we've done statutes, we've done regulations, we've done binding law, case law, we've done USCIS Policy Manual. Now we have an actual memorandum. So I wanted to take time to just go over these steps because I think that it will help in terms of understanding where this policy memo falls. Now, it's not to say that the memo is not important. The memo is important, but at the end of the day, there is something that supersedes this memo. And after the memo, we also have the statement that was made by the spokesperson as well, and that even falls below the memo. So with the memo, it's focusing on a specific issue. In this situation, adjustment of status as it relates to green cards. So now that we've gotten that underway, I want to just talk about the actual memorandum, because again, it did create a lot of frenzy for people. The issue here is not that the memorandum or officers do not have discretion as it relates to deciding on the process for in-country adjustment of status for green card. That's not the issue. We already know from the INA that there is that discretion that is given to USCIS. The issue here really is that it has made it as if you have to qualify under an extraordinary circumstance, as if this is no longer an option if it is available, as if this is by the grace only of the United States. And that is where a lot of the confusion is lying. Excuse me. It's not so much as to whether USCIS has discretion, but it is whether this discretion is a rare exception. It's a special favor that the officers at USCIS is granting people that want to adjust in the United States. As it relates to who does this actually refer to, we're talking about non-immigrant people who are coming into the United States without the intent to stay in the US. So for example, if you came to the United States as a student, maybe you came under an F visa. After your master's program, you're going to go back to Ghana, or you're going to go back to South Africa or wherever. Maybe you fell in love. Maybe you married someone and you want to now adjust. These are the situations in which this might be an issue. Maybe you came on a visiting visa. That's a B1, that's a B2. Visiting visas are situations in which people just come with the intent to look around. Maybe it's for a conference, maybe it's for pleasure, and go back to their home country. In these situations, you might face challenges because now it's specifically referring to non-immigrant visas, people that are coming into the United States without the intent to stay, but for different circumstances, they have stayed, they have overstayed. Now there's an opportunity for them to adjust their status. So we have the academic students. We have vocational students, the M visas. We have some of the J visas for exchange students, especially those with a 2-year requirement that already, you already know that you have to go back to your home country. You have certain H3 trainee visas. Of course, I talked about the B1, the B2 visas. These are all visas that are usually visas that don't have the intent of staying in the United States. We also have the dual intent. The dual intent visas, from my understanding of this memo, it's not really talking about the dual intent because in these situations, let's say the H-1B, you know that most likely people who are on an H-1B specialty occupational visa will most likely stay or maybe adjust into a green card. Now, there are situations where people that do have H-1B, maybe you came as a nurse and your agency wants to file for your green card, that you may go back to your home country, file for the green card at the consulate, and then come back into the United States with your green card. That does happen. But usually in these situations, you do have a pathway to your adjustment of status to the green card in the United States. You also have the L1 tends to be a dually intent visa. The L1 visa, these are the inter companies for managers, executives, people who are coming into the United States, let's say to set up a business, to set up a company. Think of a bank, maybe a Zenith bank that's now coming in, that's already existed in another country and now is coming into the United States to establish itself. And then you have some gray areas. There are gray areas such as the O visa, extraordinary ability, such as the P1, P2. These are for athletes, entertainers, etc. These are situations in which, because of this directive from the memo, there is a bit of a gray area. So where do these visas fall into place? A lot of people have been asking about, what about K visa, the fiance visa, K1? Even though we know that the K1, you're coming with the intent to marry, so there is an exception there. But for the most part, a lot of people that are going to face issues are people who did come knowing that they came with the intent of a temporary stay, and for whatever reason, they're now, or they have stayed, and they're now looking to become a permanent resident in the United States. I do want to just, as a caveat, my firm, we do focus more on employment-based visas, but we have been getting a lot of calls and inquiries about, for example, marriage-based visas. I am going to say that with this memorandum, you should definitely sit up, pay attention, and look at strengthening your application. It's almost as if what this is creating is that applications now for adjustment of status may be looked at kind of like as a waiver. Waiver applications that some of you may know, a lot more goes into it to make sure that it is a strong application. For example, you're not just going to assume that this is an easy breezy process. You're going to make sure that you provide evidence that there might be harm to your family if you were to leave, that you are a law-abiding citizen, that you've made impact in your community, that you are someone who has a quality that's a national interest in the United States. That's the national interest waiver. That's specific. But in this situation, you just want to make sure that your application is as strong as possible, because this discretion, even though it is a memo, and even though there is law that supersedes this, it is a guide. Now, it's a matter of interpretation. Some officers might take it and run. They might say, okay, this is giving me more power. This is allowing me to have more discretion. And therefore, I am going to take this case as I have the authority to deny or to give as a favor. And so you don't want to leave room for interpretation as much as possible. You really want to make sure that you have a clean immigration history, that you have records of your taxes, you have employer support, for example. All these variations, if, for example, you're looking to file your I-485. So this is what it is going to create. As we move forward, there probably will be more guidance as it relates to what this memo means. There are probably going to be a lot of lawsuits as to the memo, going against the INA, as I stated before, the codes and regulations that are already in place. But the truth of the matter is there's also going to be a lot of confusion with officers because they may not know, okay, this is what we've been doing before. Now this is a new directive. So that is why it's important to, if you're already filing your adjustment of status, continue with filing your adjustment of status. But now you're looking at it kind of as a mini brief, your eligibility, the discretion, all these reasons as to why you should be approved is going to be scrutinized possibly more. You want to address negative issues head on. So for example, why have you overstayed? Unauthorized work, any discrepancies in your application, status gaps, any arrest, any prior denials. You want to make sure that you have positive equities to add. This is your family unity, references from work, as I said, taxes, your community ties, the hardship that this may provide on your family, any kind of public benefit that the United States will receive. So these are just some of the things that you should definitely consider. There's also going to probably be a lot more RFEs that are going to be coming out. There's probably going to be an uneven rollout as it relates to the directives and clarification for USCIS. And as I said, litigation. But at the end of the day, I do want people to know
that the INA says that adjustment of status is a lawful path. The memo does tell officers to scrutinize at discretion more aggressively. But it is important to not panic, but to prepare. The law is still in place. Make sure that you also read it for yourself, read the memo for yourself, build your record, understand that you still have the right, understand that things have always been coming up in the past as it relates to memorandums with regards to USAIS. It's not the first time. So don't listen to all the hype. Prepare your application, be focused, and go in it with confidence. And I do believe that the most prepared will have a positive outcome. Thank you.
I just want to reiterate on that point. So, is it really what it is? As in, if you have to get your green card, you have to go back up.
No.
So that's not what the memorandum is trying to explain.
What the memorandum, as I've just said in this, is that it is
No, I want to get it in plain words
in
explanation.
plain words explanation is that
Yes.
it is not saying that if you are applying for an adjustment of status, you have to leave the country and go and do a consular processing. That's not what it's necessarily saying. What the spokesperson did say is that they feel that adjustment of status has been abused, that people have used it that didn't have the intent to stay in the United States to adjust into a green card. And so I've explained that, like the student visas, et cetera, as a pathway to green card and then citizenship. So they're trying to crack down and say that the consular processing has always been in place for these kind of situations. But as I said, the INA does allow adjustment of status in country. So that is already the statute, that's already the law. It is not saying that you have to leave the United States. People should start buying plane tickets and go back to Ghana, for example, for adjustment of status. No, that is why there is so much frenzy and miscommunication and misinformation. You can still continue with your process. But what this memo is triggering is for people to be a lot more prudent in this process and ensure that their application is as tight and as prepared as possible.
Okay. All right. I just want a reiteration, and it's confirmed. So, those of you who are a little bit worried and scared that hey, I have to go back and all that stuff, you already heard it. Now, the second one is about the rumors about social media handles. Is it something that is really a fact, or it's actually something that people are just throwing out there as an update for immigration?
No, it's not something that people are just throwing out there as an update. I've said this in the past before. There are situations now in which officers are looking at social media handles. There's actual cases in which people have been denied entry based on what they produce on their social media handle. That is now part of the scrutiny. So yes, it is important to be careful what you post on your social media handle. I think this was about 2 episodes before where I did kind of go into depth about social media handles. But just to recap, what you write definitely can be scrutinized. It's
Not just even right, but what they say too, AI can pick it up.
what you say, what you write. There was a situation of a young woman, I think she was from Nigeria, who was coming here on a business tourist visa. But she actually was promoting an event where she was going to be selling products. And at the entry, she was denied because her visa category is maybe for like a meeting, maybe to scope the scene, but she was actually coming to sell goods. She had, events in different cities. She was selling tickets. All these things were used against her. let's say that you're going for an adjustment of status green card for marriage, and you, God forbid, you have a family in another country. Those things can be seen if you're, congratulating your wife on her birthday, or you're congratulating your children, on their graduation. Your application says that this is your only marriage. Those things can be used against you. So, or maybe you have very strong views against the current administration. All of these things can be used with discretion of the officer. So yes, social media is
I
used.
remember back in the day, there was a soccer player during one of the either African Cup or World Cup who was celebrating his 31st birthday, but at the same time, his son was celebrating his 20th birthday in the home country. So I understand how can you have a child at the age of 11? Hey, it has happened before, but I'm just saying. You said you're 31 years old and one of your kids was celebrating 20th birthday back home. But again, it may be funny, but then it's something that is really creating a lot of buzz and waves out there. So we need to be careful. So just to segue into what you just said, we're going to be very circumspect with the questions that we have to ask, and to curtail that. There's a free consultation link that she's going to put out there. Please take that and ask all your questions that you have. We're going to take about 3 to 5 questions, and after that we're going to probably wrap it up. But before we do that, please make sure you join the HRETV family chat so that we can help network and also coordinate topics that we want to have on the show. There's so many people who are reaching us to us back doors from the HRETV platform, the kind of things that they want to hear and the kind of things that they want to see on the show, and we are actually working towards that. So please, not everyone wants to talk about things publicly. I just want to do their conversations back door. So please make sure that you take advantage of that and we make it happen. Also, there is a Friends of Startups and link. I'm hoping the director, A-Class or Danny, will put it on the platform so that you guys can actually click on it and join. So again, don't forget to enter the Mifie as well. Raffle ends on May 30th, so please take advantage of that as soon as possible. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna take 5 questions max so that we can go ahead and wrap it up, so that people can actually have more time tonight to actually schedule the free consultation. The first question is from me. Okay, me says, why is the hold, not me per se, me, but the name over there is me. Me says, why is the hold on renewal, especially with DACA recipients?
Repeat the question again.
Why is the hold on renewal, especially with the DACA recipients?
So as a DACA recipient, this policy should not be affecting DACA recipients.
I think there's a hold on it. They want to know why the hold on.
There is a hold on it. As I said, DACA has been challenged in court for years. It's not as if this is the first time. There is under this administration definitely an attempt to, I'm going to try to use my words carefully, reduce people that are Black and Brown from specific countries. So these delays for renewals and processing times being slowed down. These are methods that have been used in the past and currently, specifically targeting certain communities. It's not fully stopped, but they are slower than before, and it is tied to a lot of court proceedings. If I were to answer why, even for this memo, we can use our intellectual ability to see that these are different, I would say, methods to target certain communities in terms of reducing their presence in the United States.
All right. So the second question is from Matt. The man says, do you know if the law that was passed on January 21st will be lifted? I'm not sure what law that was.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what law. that was.
Okay, so we're gonna put that question on hold. If Matt can come back and just state what our law was, then if not,
I think it was executive order, but go ahead. Let's go to the next one.
the third one is gonna be Michael just typed in, but I'm gonna go ahead and mute Michael to actually ask his question. And Michael, please tell us where you're calling from and your question. And then please be mindful of the question. Thank you.
My question, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my question is, I just want to find out those who have already submitted the application, right? Are they going to be affected?
So if you have already submitted your application, that's the thing, full honesty and transparency. If someone says that, no, you won't be, they're not being honest. Again, you may be. That's really unfortunate. You should not be in terms of you've already, started your adjustment of status, but it depends on where you are. It is very possible that an officer can pick this up on Wednesday, and that is when your application will be reviewed and implement what their understanding of what the memo means. So
if you've already been to an interview, right, and you're waiting for one answer, is it going to be affected? You've gone to interview already, and you're waiting for the answer.
Okay, so you've already done the interview. Those that are already waiting, you've already gone through the process. My guess would be that no, you're not going to be affected. But if you are waiting, let's say you haven't received an appointment date yet, or you're about to now do your adjustment status, I do think that you will be impacted depending on the officer that you get. It's a gamble.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. So the second question has been clarified a little bit. Bridget says she think it was basically not the law, but the ban that was on the 75 countries.
We're still waiting.
Okay. So it's still not lifted yet. All right. So the fourth question will come from Enoch. We're gonna keep you as the last question. Okay. Enoch Benedicto was we're gonna keep you as the last question. This fourth question will be from Samuel Aqua. Does this new policy affect the VAWA application?
Repeat the question again.
Someone wants to know if the new policy affects VAWA application.
Okay, that affects VAWA application. That's another area that I personally feel that is gray, because I do think that there's going to be a bit more directives as it relates to the Violence Against Women Act self-petitions. I feel that people can still file for new VAWA applications, specifically because these are extraordinary cases in which this is kind of trying to refer to. I mean, the statement from the spokesperson is saying that they're trying to have certain cases become consular so that the cases that really should get priority will now be in person, such as, these extraordinary situations. So I would say that the new VAWA application can still be filed. I do think this process is different in the sense that it's going to affect other type of non-humanitarian cases as it relates to specifically Violence Against Women Act. I do think that that will still be sort of safe, let's say, for now.
Okay. Last question, Enoch, please unmute yourself and tell us where you're calling from.
Right, I'm calling from Ohio, Cincinnati, in Ohio.
Okay, Enoch, what's your question? And that is my home city, by the way, guys. Cincinnati in the building.
Yeah. The big cat. Okay, right. I want to find out what will be her take on an EB2NIW that has been filed since March 5th, 2025, using the regular route and still pending.
I would advise you to please reach out to me. I'm going to drop my information and you can get a free screening for your situation.
All right. I'll look
And when it comes to the EBs, that's her specialty actually. She's not a family lawyer. She's more for the EB stuff. So she actually kills that expect so bad. So please take advantage of that, especially you, Enoch. Make sure that you take advantage of that as much as possible. But with that being said, that concludes all the questions that the 5 questions that we slated for today. I want to say thank you very much for making time out of your busy schedule coming to give us this nuggets and also explaining the memorandum that we have and also mitigating the fear and panic out there. With that being said, I'll call upon director to actually close close up the meeting for today. So director, but please, did you put in your link, because people are testing me about it, about the free screening? It's very
Yes,
important.
please.
People need it.
So definitely. Thank you so much, Doc. You can reach me at info@onlylaw.com. It's actually in my screen name. That's the email. info@onlylaw.com.
Can you put in the chat, please?
Yes, sir. Let me just go ahead and write that. So that is info@onlylaw.com. And then you can also call. Let me also put my phone number here. And so our main number is 347-503-0520. And with that, I will schedule a quick.
Who's giving us the feedback in the background?
Okay, that's 347-503-0520. You can also visit the website at onlylaw.com. And these are 3 ways in which you can reach out to me. Once you do reach out to me, just say tap, tap, send or HRTV, and I will now be able to give you your free 15-minute screening. It would be in safe environment that's private, so you can feel free to really ask your questions. And those of you that may not have,
Repeat that again, because that is very important.
it will be in a safe, private setting, so you can feel free to ask your question. And I think that's important, especially now that so many things are being monitored. And those of you that were not able to get, clarifications, I'm happy to do so during the call.
All right. Thank you very much. Director. No, she said 15. You said 15, right? Is it 15?
1515, not
Yeah, because she always said that. She always said that every week, so I know that for a fact. That's why I even responded to it. It's 15. Yeah. All right, director, can you please give us your sign-on message to Loyoni?
Yeah, Piki. Sorry, I just ran into an emergency. That's why I'm giving that feedback. I had to.
Oh, so that was you, director.
Yeah. Pardon me, I'm driving, and
we have to
if
charge
you drive,
you.
don't talk. Yeah, pardon me, guys. Doctor, lawyer Oni, we thank you very much for a great information given onto us in education. I wouldn't spend much time. I would say thank you. Hope to see you next time. PK, I think it was a good show and very educated. Thank you both for the wonderful show today. Thank you.
All right.
I want to just say one thing. Please, people, do not let fear take over. Make sure that you stay calm. Reach out to an immigration attorney that you trust. Do not buy a ticket and leave the country without speaking to a trusted immigration attorney for your specific situation. And also be encouraged to read the memo yourself. All right, then.
All right. Thank you very much, Leonie. God bless you and enjoy the rest of your week. And happy Memorial Day to all service members, past, present, and future. Thank you for your service. And Leonie, thank you for your service to the community as well. God bless you all. And don't forget, guys, Leonie just celebrated her birthday. May borns, we rock. So I'm just saying, if you were not born in May, you are not a legend. If you're not an Arsenal fan, you are not a legend. Arsenal fans, we are still recruiting. In case you want to come and join us, please come. And hey, happy birthday in advance. It's belated, Motorola. Hey, patience. Thank you.
For being part of Mayborn.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys. And Director A class is also May as well. I think he's May 6th. Yeah, he's May 6th.
And now May 7th.
Oh yeah, that's right. We've talked about this a couple years ago, Uncle Jimmy. Yeah, that's right. That's why you're a legend. All Mayborns are legends. Legends were born in May. At this point,
my Phyllis. Happy birthday.
Oh, Phyllis. No, this Phyllis, if this is the Phyllis I know, she's lying. She's not today. Today's not her birthday. If this is the Phyllis,
Oh, I'm not lying. Oh, PK, I'm not lying. Today's my birthday. I promise you. It's my birthday today.
Nanekia, every day is your birthday.
Congratulations.
Well, happy birthday to Phyllis.
Oh, look this one. Okay, I'm not even mind you. It's okay. Your case is in the kerosene already. It's okay.
Hey, this girl went to Saito. She said my cane is in the kerosene. Back in the days, if you go to Saito, they put your cane in kerosene so that they'll lash you with it. Uncle, my greetings from Sefa. Hey, this one might be from Uncle Jimmy, because I don't know any Sefa like that. But anyway, thank you guys very much. Today was just a very beautiful one, and I want to say God bless you for all you do. Keep supporting HRTV, keep supporting Tatap Sen. And at this point, we're going to head over to Uncle Jimmy and the Ambassadors. Do not forget, next week is going to be a very beautiful one. How to manage a difficult partner with Oba and Professor Joe Ando. God bless you. I'll see you guys same time next week, 6 p.m. every Monday, right here on the show, Time with Tatap Sen on HRTV. Big shout out to my producer, Nana Lord, numero uno, producer extraordinaire. God bless you all. Bye-bye. Uncle Jimmy, over to you.
Officer, happy Memorial Day.
Thank you.
I salute, sir.